Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, the weekend of Pentecost. I'm here in my office, and I wanted to do two things on this video. I want to give you some encouragement about this weekend, and then also talk about the upcoming um, opening of churches to the point that we could do some form of corporate service again. Okay, so let's start with the encouragement. This weekend, you guys, is so significant. We are literally joining hundreds of thousands in a focused, call it an upper room reality, where we are asking the Lord to pour out His Spirit upon all flesh. Last week, I released a teaching concerning the biblical foundation that we know that the Lord said He's going to do this. We can lean on that promise with faith and contend. I love that passage in Zechariah where He says, "Ask me for it. Ask me for the outpouring of the Spirit." So we're doing that this weekend. You guys, there was a Zoom call about 2 weeks ago with major leaders on it. Bill Johnson, Francis Chan, Mike Bickle, major leaders from overseas. There's a guy named David Damien that's like the Lou Engle of mobilizing prayer in Asia and the Middle East, all on this phone call, on this Zoom call. And then watching the Zoom call, there was 1 million people watching the Zoom call. That was live. Who knows how many have watched it after, when they posted it, but that was live, 1 million people. And these leaders across, denominational lines and various things like that, saying this Pentecost is so significant. We want to join together and pray across the globe for an outpouring of the Spirit. So anyway, you guys, one of the things that we value in this church family is being a part of what the Lord's doing in the nations. And you guys, this is what He's doing in the nations. And I want to say this, if we weren't under a safer at home order right now, we wouldn't have churches normal this weekend. We would be doing prayer meetings. We would be responding to this. And we are responding to this as best we can. So I want to just speak into that frustration a little bit. We can only have 10 people in a corporate meeting right now. Those are the guidelines that are given to us by our state. And that's frustrating because those prayer meetings filled up immediately, and there it is. It's all full. You can't go to the corporate prayer meeting. So I understand this, and we are going to be doing as many as we can. I know we're going to be able to do most live on our Facebook page. So if you want to participate in the prayer meeting, especially tomorrow when we're going from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., constant prayer. We'll have live feed on our Facebook. Now you say, hey, I'm not on Facebook. We are going to try to get a couple on our YouTube channel and then connect them to our an email or to our church website even, like we have been doing with the teachings. So we can at least have a couple of prayer meetings that everybody can participate in. But again, the biggest, easiest way forward is on Facebook. And we'll have a link for that. I'll be sending out an email shortly with this video and a link for our Facebook page. Okay, so there's that. I just wanted to address that. I know that there's definitely a desire that we could see a lot more gathering, but again, our guidelines are currently 10 people. So let's talk about our guidelines and let's talk about what's coming up. So I know many of you, as you know, our president, and I just am so grateful that he came on the scene last week, Friday, and said, I am asking the governors to open churches. They are essential. And then he released guidelines for churches to open. And if you looked at those guidelines, there is at least 3 or 4 points of those guidelines where in the guidelines from the president on Friday, he said, you need to, I'm asking you in these guidelines to follow the local and state guidelines for gathering. And right now, our local and state guidelines for gathering are no more than 10 people for churches. And it's been that way for a while. And so now, in saying that, our governor has promised that he's going to release new guidelines for houses of worship on the 1st, which is Monday. And we are anticipating us being able to do some sort of corporate gathering very, very soon. Within the next, 2 to 3 weeks, you guys. So Hang in there. It's coming. And I just want to assure you, your elder team here, and myself and Rory with life groups and just the leadership team of this church have been laboring over this. We have spent hours in conversation together, in prayer, in reaching out to our county leaders, in just following, just every day I'm clicking on the latest press releases from our state government. We're looking at this variance that our county is putting forward to see if we can, in Archuleta County, do some things a little bit differently than the state guidelines, just based on what we're seeing here in our county. As we are watching this, we are just as eager to get started. And I know that it just seems like, what are we doing? We are very intentional in this time and have been very intentional. How can we do this? How can we begin to gather? And so anyway, I just want to encourage you with that. It's coming, guys. It's coming soon. We're going to see, I just really strongly believe we're going to see greater numbers being able to gather, some form of corporate gatherings again on the weekends. And when I say weekends, probably we're going to have to be doing multiple services just based on numbers. So we're probably going to do like a Saturday night, Sunday morning, or maybe a couple on Sunday morning. So that's coming up really soon. But you guys, for this weekend, it's all about Pentecost. Again, if we weren't under a safer at home order, we would be shutting down normal service as usual if we were able to have it, and doing prayer meetings. This would be it for us. This is church for us this weekend. So you guys, if you were going to give an hour to listening to a teaching of mine, there's not going to be one. I'm not releasing a teaching this weekend, because I would rather have, if you have an hour to give to listening to a teaching of mine, that you would give that to turning on some worship music and pressing into the Lord for an hour and praying for an outpouring. Use those notes from last week. There's so many verses on there talking about the promise of an outpouring of the Spirit. It's Pentecost this weekend, you guys. The globe is pressing in. We want to press in along with again, probably around 1 million believers, maybe more, that are gathering right now and are gathering tomorrow and asking the Lord for this. So here we are. Again, I think it's just a significant moment, and we can participate. We can press in. I know it's unideal and not how we'd want to see it, but I mean, think about the early believers gathered in a quarantined room of 120, and it was unideal. They were shut down and waiting on the promise of the Father before they could do anything. And there they were in one accord, saying, Lord, pour out your Spirit so we can move forward and bring the gospel to every nation. That's what we're praying. All right, you guys, I love you. Look for updates soon, and participate as you can. Again, I really want to encourage you to take participation with our Facebook live feeds of prayer meetings, or also recorded ones that will be on Facebook, recorded ones that will be on YouTube. We'll try to get a couple of those on our church website, so it's real easy for you guys to participate. And I do look forward to seeing you very soon, and I do believe it's coming very, very soon, you guys. So hang in there, pray with us, and that's it. All right, love you guys.